Welcome back. It's Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's talk some football now. The Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Golden Eagles. To join the conversation, just make use of the hashtag Sports Tonight. Let's quickly let you meet the guys who will be talking sports with us tonight. This man is back after going around the world. Toyin Ibitoye, good to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Austin. It's a pleasure to be back on Sports Tonight.
Okay, and of course, Onyebuchi Wachuku is also with us on the show.
Yeah, we are home-based. The home-based chan. Tonto has been playing pro for some time.
No. Victor is just saying we should say we are Super Eagles.
Oh.
We are not home-based.
No. We are based here.
Exactly. We are Super Eagles players based in Nigeria.
Oh.
We are professionals.
There's no discrimination between those who are playing here and those who are playing there.
Yeah,
Super Eagles is Super
some
Eagles.
Get $5,000 and some get $1,000.
Austin Obarakpo, Chima Akas, Prince Agre. These guys also play when the A team is playing. They play when the Chan Eagles are playing. So there's no discrimination.
Yeah.
Once the quality is there and you can bring it on match day, you are a Super Eagles player.
I agree with you. But
not home-based, not foreign-based.
If Mikel Obi comes to channels now and Obarakpo comes, what will be the reaction?
But that depends on you. The reaction depends on you.
We have Super Eagles players around.
Yeah,
that's what
the reaction depends on you.
Super Eagles players.
That's it.
That's the change. Welcome back to him.
Thank you. The reaction depends on you.
It hasn't been easy. What a journey it was for the Super Eagles down to Belgium. So much happened. A lot of talking points, but it seems we like the results that we got out of that game between Cameroon. In fact, the game against DR Congo. Tell us, what's the experience like?
Yeah, it was good, and I think the first thing is we need to commend all those who made those games possible, because that's the only window for you to play friendly games. After that window, you won't get any other window for friendly games until maybe the middle or towards the last quarter of next year. So if you want to gel your team together, if you want better understanding between the players among themselves, and then the players and the coaches, you want to understand the philosophy of the coach, there was a need to have played those two games. And I think they achieved the purpose. Because after the 2-0 loss to Congo DR, the boys regrouped after spending extra days of training. After the coach had his mind settled because of visa problems and all of that, they were able to regroup, and then they put out that outstanding victory over the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, which, for me, has set the template that the coaches will work on for the games we have in November against Swaziland, home and away. So that's the advantage of playing friendly games, and that's what I'm sure the coaches are going to be building on going into November. So it was very good, and the positive lessons that have been picked, we'll work on them. The negatives on why we couldn't probably get a victory against Congo DR and all of that, we'll correct them and try to get a decent team together for our World Cup qualifiers, which is the essence of why these games were being played in the first place.
Okay, Tony has spoken as the man inside. You, the man outside, do you agree that this team has regrouped and now playing as a team proper?
Well, Austin, the coach told us that he's trying to build a team that all of us will be proud of. And like Tony said, against Congo, we could argue for and against that some issues in camp affected the morale of the players, rightly so. Then against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, I think he started, knowing his players. Some of these players are playing under Sunday Odyssey for the first time. And maybe after one or two games, he will know the best position to use some of them. He will know their strength and weakness. And against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, and we saw a team, that had changed positively. We saw John Igalo. We saw Moses Simon, a player that, has been coming in as an impact player before, starting the game and scoring. So these are the positive. And if they continue in this spirit, playing together, winning game, the confidence will be very high. But as it is now, we shouldn't expect much. And thankfully, even though we argue that they are no longer minnows in football, but thankfully we are meeting Swaziland. If we are able to get a good result against them home and away, that should also boost the confidence. But more importantly, in my own opinion, I think by the time we play Egypt next year, we begin to, assess Olise properly, because Egypt, whether you like it or not, they're a very strong side.
So let's talk about the next qualifiers against Swaziland. Tell me, how is Coach Sunday Olise and Mr. Crew going to approach that game?
This is a World Cup qualifier, so you do not want to take anything for granted. This Swaziland have ruffled a few feathers in the last couple of years. They beat Guinea 2-1 in Morocco. That should be some signals to you that you can't take them for granted. And then they beat Djibouti home and away, and they were scoring a lot of goals.
8-1.
In the last few years as well, they have also been able to play against South Africa and pulled a draw in South Africa. So at least you know that this is a decent side, decent enough to worry you if you take them for granted. And the fact that the games are so choked. We're going to be playing first leg on the 13th, Friday, 7 p.m., and it's very cold in Swaziland. And then we're going to be playing the return leg on Tuesday, the 17th. Very little time. Camp is going to open on the night of November. Very little time to train. Maybe you just have about 2-3 training sessions, and you are off to Swaziland, and then you are back. 1-2 training sessions, you play the return leg. So there is a lot that needs to go into how we prepare for this game. And it's all going to start with Coach Sunday Olise unveiling his players, his squad list. That should happen any moment from now. The list of players will be called up for the game. And I'm sure that based on what we're able to do against Cameroon during the Belgian tour, most of those boys are going to get a look in so that they already understand how the coach wants the team to play. They already understand the philosophy and the application that the coach expects from them. So it's going to call a lot of those guys that got involved in those 2 friendly games against Congo DR and Cameroon, and try to see how much work they can do within 2-3 days for us to get to Swaziland, and then for us to finish off in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, November 17th. But camp opens on the night of November. So there's very little time for us to do anything. And that's why I think we should also commend the Nigerian Football Federation, commend the match agent, Airo Passion. The Nigerian Football Federation have been doing so much in terms of logistics for the team. Travel, save travel time, travel by chartered flight, get there, rest well, play your game, come back, rest well. I mean, nothing compares to all of that. And I think we can build on this. Hopefully, the victory will come home and away against Swaziland, and then we'll be through to the final part of the qualifiers, the final round, which is going to start October 2016.
That's the main business. Super Eagles media officer Tony Bitoye giving us all the updates as regards the Super Eagles preparations for that. Crucial, because you can't take anything for granted when you're playing World Cup qualifiers. We'll wrap up this part briefly to get back to that conversation, trying to understand all that went down in the death of Beauty McLeod. And after we talk about that, we'll come back and talk some more. Remember, we still have match day 35 of the Nigeria Professional Football League, and of course, the FIFA Under-17 World Cup and the Capital One Cup. You know what? We will play back that interview of Destiny Da Silva. I'll let you have an understanding, a background of what really happened on Sunday between Beauty and the policeman. And we'll come back. We'll have a representative of the Nigerian police with us in the studio to give us the outside of the story. Sports Tonight, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.